everyone, it's Kim Kent here, and we are in Kim's Corner that is powered by the Education Entrepreneurship Lab. And I am here with my wonderful friend, Aliya Mullins.
Hi.
She is the founder of Una Sola Voz, which is a great new homeschool tutorial that she started. And so we are here to talk about all things homeschooling, all things Una Sola Voz. So if you would first introduce yourself to our audience, tell us who you are, tell us about your family, just tell us how everything got started.
Oh, well, first, let me just thank you, Kim, for having me on Kim's Corner. I just want to thank you so much. You have been an inspiration to me in the homeschool world, so I really value you, your input, and just the opportunity to share how, watching somebody walk out and live the homeschool life, can really inspire and grow something in someone else. And so this really all started with my own homeschool journey with my kids and taking that leap, because it was really a leap of faith. I didn't know anyone who homeschooled, and trying to take it on really seemed overwhelming because we have these misconceptions and these notions about what it looks like to homeschool.
Yeah.
And then we think of our own limitations and not wanting to ruin our kids and by being the one to teach them.
And we know the kids are going to be just fine, right? We know the kids are going to be just fine, yeah.
And so now I think it's like 8 or 9 years in to the homeschooling. It's wonderful. It's been a great opportunity. And as I've been growing kind of in the homeschool world and seeing where there are some spaces to be filled, the Lord really just put it in my heart to create something for people who do speak Spanish who want to homeschool. Because for people, and particularly families that have come in their first generation from other Spanish-speaking countries, they may have some difficulties with the translation of English materials because a lot of the materials are in English, not in Spanish. A lot of the tutorials, don't offer programs where classes are actually in Spanish.
Yeah.
It's just classes where they teach Spanish.
Right.
And the Lord put it in my heart to say, well, let's find a place, or let's create a space where families that do speak Spanish, or families that have kids that they want to learn Spanish, can have some kind of an immersion experience.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be centered around being in a specific academic institution, but where the homeschool world could provide that. And when the Lord dropped that into my heart, it was, I was a little taken aback because I said, Lord, why wouldn't you have somebody who is a native Spanish speaker do something like that? But when the Lord leads you, you got to go.
Yeah.
So that kind of brought me to Una Sola Voz, the tutorial program that is now, become more than just an idea, but it's just something that the Lord is bringing into the earth at this time.
I love it. I love it. And so I want to just back up just a little bit and talk about your boy, because you have all boys.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And so even that in and of itself is like, oh my goodness, you have all these boys, all this energy, right?
Yes.
And then the idea of creating a new space. And again, so I'm assuming you saw a need, right? You saw a need.
Absolutely.
Okay.
As I was growing in my desire to learn Spanish, because I've wanted to speak Spanish for quite a while. And so as I've started to grow in that space, I've encountered many, many families where parents only speak Spanish. The kids speak both, but the parents aren't able to engage like they want to. And I felt like there was a need there for families who had parents that wanted to be involved with their kids' homeschooling, with their kids' education, where they could actually be a really active part of it.
Yeah.
And so that's part of my kind of journey in learning Spanish as well.
Yeah, yeah. So are you seeing, tell me what you're seeing, because I'm assuming that you also have some connections in the Latino community, and what are you seeing in terms of homeschooling? I know for us, we're finding that the African American population is exploding right now in homeschooling. Are you seeing some of the same things in the Latino community, or what are you seeing as you are engaging families? What are some of the, and also what are some of the whys for them as to why they are looking to do something different? What are some of the patterns or some of the trends that you've seen as you've been talking to them?
Okay. Well, as I've seen some Latino American families that do homeschool, a lot of them will go to the church to be able to find a place and a space to be able to do that. And there are some Spanish-speaking churches that do offer that. However, I think the challenge for those families, and a lot of families, is being able to have a person that could stay home with the kids and not kind of have to be in the workplace, because there's a need for families, both parents, to be in the workplace as well. There's that piece of it, but then there's also the resources, because so many of the resources are in English.
Right.
And
Right.
you actually kind of have to dig quite a bit to find some quality resources in Spanish. And so that's part of the challenge. I think if you're a family where your people are predominantly speaking Spanish and you want to homeschool and you're looking at taking that on, you're thinking about what does it look like, only having one person going out to work, another person staying home. And then now I have to find the resources to do it. And then I have to figure out what does it look like to teach these kids. And then I have to interact with the homeschooling office.
Yeah.
It just becomes a bite that's too big to chew.
Right. Right.
know.
Especially alone. Right.
Right,
Especially
and when
alone,
there's
right.
not really like
Having that
the community there to help with the support of it. And I think
Yeah.
that's one good thing about Una Sola Voice is that, not only do we offer the classes, but it also can act like an umbrella as
I
a bridge
love it.
between the families and the homeschooling office, because that really does take quite a burden off
Yeah.
those families as
It
well.
definitely does. I want to talk about the curriculum, because you touched on something that I think hopefully we're going to have some folks that are watching this that are in the curriculum space. And what were some of the challenges in terms of finding quality curriculum that's in Spanish? Like where did you look? What were some of your experiences? And what did you end up landing with?
Okay, I think, I've had to be kind of versatile when it comes to that, because when I look at the curriculums that they are in English,
Yeah.
and I'm comparing them to the ones that I've seen in Spanish, I've seen that it just was a little bit of a mismatch. And I wasn't quite as satisfied with what I saw in Spanish. I actually was in Mexico, and I was able to get a hold of several grade school curriculum books.
Wow. Okay.
First grade, second grade, third grade, sixth grade science and math. And as I was going through them, considering them, what they look like and what the learning pattern was, I was just seeing, compared to some of the English textbooks in terms of what they were teaching, when they were teaching it, and how it was being taught, there were just some things that I didn't feel like matched up the way I would want them to
Right. Okay.
when I was teaching. So that was one of the challenges. What I'm looking at now, since this is going to be a virtual program, is a kind of a digital backpack.
Oh,
And so
nice.
those are companies that will offer curriculums, and they are all digitalized, so you can download them and families can use them. And as I've been looking at more of those, I'm feeling much more satisfied with what I find.
Good. Excellent. So parent comes to you and says, hey, I see that you're here. I want to look at what's available for my kids. Tell me what your program actually is looking like. What is it shaping up to be?
Okay, it's looking like virtual classrooms for grades 1 through 5. Classes in science, classes in math, and classes in social studies. So kids being able to receive instruction in Spanish by native Spanish speakers in these subjects. And them having the opportunity to engage in their native language, being able to learn in Spanish. And also for kids who speak English, having an opportunity to come in and have an immersion experience.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
sometimes parents may wonder, well, how can my child come in and have an immersion experience
Yes.
not being able to speak Spanish?
Please talk to
how,
that. Yes.
How will they learn at all? And it really is something that they work with the tutor with. It's something that the students and the tutors work on. Because when you're in a classroom and they're speaking another language, and if your native language starts to come in, you're going to rely very heavily on that. You're like, I don't know what you said, but I know I heard the word subtract, or I know I heard the word add, and so there's going to be quite a bit of trying to use that. And what we want the kids to lean on the new language. So the teachers go very slow in terms of making sure that the kids know what they're supposed to be doing, but also using a lot of cues, a lot of visuals, a lot of aids, so that the kids can really start to get a grasp of it. And it sounds a little counterintuitive to say, well, have my kid learning a language that they don't know. But really, after doing it for a few times, you'd be surprised how easily the kids can pick up if they really, have to lean on what they're hearing and engaging with the language. Because it's one thing to just hear it, it's another thing to engage with it. You not only have the teacher talking to you, you also have the text in front of you. You also have the demonstrations of what the teacher is doing. And when you put it all together over time, you'll see how quickly kids can begin to absorb the new language.
I love it. I love it. Tell me about also just building the program and having a team around you. How has that been, and how are you able to find people to partner with you? Tell me about all that.
Huh. Well,
Yeah.
man, one thing I can say for sure is just prayer.
Yeah.
Prayer
Yeah.
and asking the Lord to add to me, add to the program what and who He wants to add to it.
Yeah.
So as I've gone out and then have kind of been on my search for who will be the appropriate people to teach, who will be the appropriate partners for this, the Lord has just led me to families, to people who love the Lord, who want to teach, and are really committed to the journey just like I am. And so it's almost hard to pinpoint how
Right.
the process happens. It can seem like it's serendipitous, even
Right.
though,
Yeah.
it's not. But you find out, oh, well, I didn't know that you spoke Spanish and you taught, and
Right.
oh, I didn't know that you had already managed, a homeschool and a co-op and things like that. And so information about the people that you kind of already have around you starts to be revealed, and you see how it fits into the vision that God has.
I love it. I love it. So tell me a little bit, what was probably your biggest struggle, and how did you overcome that
Huh.
as you were bringing about Una Sola Voz?
I think most people can say the biggest struggle is always just believing that it can be done and that you
Yeah.
could be the vessel, the tool
Yeah.
to do it. So, and that's an everyday thing. And again, I come back to it is just prayer and seeing the Lord do little things all along the way. So with every step that I would take in the direction that I feel like God is leading me, He will reveal something to me there, show me something there, help me there, bring somebody to me there. And all of that together, kind of encourages you and motivates you to take even the next step.
Yeah.
So I would say that's the biggest challenge, is just believing that you can do it. But with every little step and having God there and the people around, it makes a big difference for you to say, okay, well, I'll take another one and another one. Even like, the opportunity to come here and share.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm just grateful for you being able to share with us, all the things that you're doing. Can you speak to just the parent that's out there that's thinking about homeschooling, and especially if they're Spanish speaking as well, and they're like, I don't know if I can do this. Let me just make sure. What advice or what guidance would you give to a parent that's like thinking, it's almost on the fence? Do I do this? Do I not do this?
Yeah, I would say if you're a parent and you're considering homeschooling and particularly looking for something that's in Spanish, I would say there is support available. I would say it can be done. You can do it. I would say that, reach out, look, but, our program is here, your program is here, and there are resources available, and there are people in the space who are willing to lead you and guide you and walk you through it. It's not impossible. But just to go ahead and take that leap of faith, because in some ways that's what it is.
Yeah, definitely is. Definitely is. Wow. So I am so grateful. I wanted to share something with you. I brought a little gift for you.
Okay.
This is Carrie McDonald's book called Joyful Learning, and it's about exactly what you're doing. She interviews so many founders who are really on the forefront of building and are building very successful programs. And so I wanted to give this to you just
thank
as an
you.
encouragement
Thank you.
for you as you are continue to build Una Sola Voz. And I just know it's going to be an incredible, it's going to bless so many families. I know it
Amen.
already is blessing so many families.
Amen.
And so many more that are going to be coming your way. And I'm just so excited for you. I'm so excited that you took the leap of faith. Can we talk really quickly about that? About what was the moment when you said, okay, I'm going to do this, and what was that like for you as a leader and as a founder, as a new founder?
Well, you know what? I think part of what helped me to get to that place was when I asked you about when did you know you would start Extend after the Lord gave it to you?
Yeah.
And you said you knew immediately.
Right.
You said, immediately I know I was going to do it.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, Kim kind of just jumped in. And so, I processed it. I talked to my husband, and my husband said something to me like, well, why not?
Right.
If you never do what you've never done, you'll never have what you never had. And so
I love that.
I think that was
Yeah.
the final thing that made me say, okay. But that didn't take too long, but a little encouragement went a long way.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, again, I'm so excited for you. Everyone, can you share with us the website? Tell us how we can find you.
Oh, sure. The website is solavoztutorial.org. If you look that up, you'll find the website. There's a link for you to contact us, and there you can register. And if you're somebody who's interested in teaching, you could also fill out the application for that as well. Unasolavoztutorial.org.
Wonderful. And you're online this year, is that
Yes,
right?
this will be virtual, so
I
it
love
is
it.
open to, you wherever you are. So
Wherever you are,
wherever
guys.
you
So
are,
I'm saying
join in.
wherever you are in the country, if you are looking for a Spanish-speaking immersion tutorial, please give Aliya a call. Give her and her team a call. Again, so excited about what you're doing. So grateful for you sharing the time with me
Oh,
to
thank you
just
for
share
having
all
me.
that you're doing. So
Oh, thank you.
exciting, exciting. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Kim.
All right.